Hello, Jeff. Good to see you again.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. It is a lovely day in
Yes,
the
it is. Good to
neighborhood.
see you as always.
Yes, yes, and I found a couple of good things. Are you a thrifter?
I'm typically not. I'm a person that just spends way too much money on new stuff. I'm a part of the problem. I'm not part of the solution.
Well, I don't. You're not necessarily part of the problem. You're keeping the economy humming. But I'm kind of addicted to treasure hunting in general because, as I've mentioned,
Yeah.
I'm an estate sale guy, and so
Oh,
there's just older things that I tend to like. But I'm a thrifter because there's sometimes you find some pretty cool stuff. I've gotten a couple of cool chess sets
really? And I know you've
thrifting.
gotten you've gotten you're a typewriter collector.
Typewriters I've procured while thrifting.
What are some
I'm
of the
trying to.
more unusual things or best finds,
Oh
treasures?
boy.
Treasures.
Well, I will say at one of the thrift stores, I scored either 4 or 5 Burberry suit coats
Whoa.
that are $400 to $500 a piece, and I got them for $8 each.
Huh.
And
And you don't thrift to resell. You get
no,
them
no,
for
no, 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 I
yourself.
don't. There are people that do that. Like you can spot those people in a hot second at the store because they're carts full of all kinds of random
Huh.
junk, and then they're going on eBay or Craigslist or whatever to sell this stuff. No, no, I don't do that. I just do it, and I'm pretty picky. Like there's a few items that I would never buy. One, somebody else's underwear. That's
Oh
just
yeah. Yeah.
not. I don't
Yeah.
even know why they sell it. It's so
No, I don't.
gross.
Yeah, it's really you can wash. I mean, if you're used underwear, you feel like you could wash it 30 times and it wouldn't be enough. Like there's some molecules of somebody else's junk in there.
Yeah, there's just no way I'm
No
just not,
junk
and
molecules.
my theory with the pans,
Yeah.
because I used to kind of be wigged out by pans.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, if you rent a tuxedo,
Yep.
you're wearing somebody's pants. If
That's
you eat
right.
at a restaurant and they have cloth table napkins, somebody else has used the cloth table napkin.
And if you're the guy that if you wear the pants in your family, Jeff, I don't know. I'm okay. I can't make that work. I just
So so that's what kind of got me. So I buy golf shorts. I
yeah.
particularly do it when, like, right now my weight's heavier than I
Uh-huh.
should be.
Uh-huh.
And so I will not spend good money on clothes that I shouldn't be wearing in the first place.
Yeah.
So I tend to get shorts and trousers that I can wear during my heavy session.
Well, when I was a younger man, a younger actor guy, I used to go to thrift stores and get all these kind of cool vintage coats. And I think it was maybe more of a thing in the 80s or 70s, even when I was a kid, as almost like costumes or kind of cool vintagey things.
Yeah.
And then years later, I'd look in my closet and say, "What the hell was I thinking?"
You know, that's so true. I totally forgot about that because, yeah, when we were like in high school and early college,
Uh-huh.
it's not like now where, the lapels on suit jackets change every,
Yeah.
5 years. If you don't
Yeah.
like the style, wait 5, it'll come back. But I remember like in high school, I think it was like everybody wanted the thin lapel
Yep,
jackets and the skinny
yep.
ties. You couldn't buy them commercially. So you had to go thrifting to get them.
And that was, yeah, there was a time when, yeah, you had those skinny ties, the band The Knack.
Oh yeah.
Anybody remember The Knack? My Sharona.
Yep. my
Sharona. And so you have to wear a skinny suit to be a Knack fan.
Dirty deeds, triggered tirades, busybodies, and missing cats. They say tall fences make good neighbors, but bad neighbors make the Right Next Door podcast.
I will say, like, never say never, because in addition, well, I would always say never on underwear, but I used to never buy
Yeah.
shoes. Like, I would never, ever, ever buy somebody else's shoes.
Huh.
And so on the crazy rare occasion, I've made one exception, and because I wear a 12 wide, so it's hard for me to find that anyway, even if I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
But there was a gorgeous pair of Peter Millar calfskin loafers I think I paid $9 for them.
Whoa.
And they fit like a glove. And I'm like examining them in the store. I'm like, are there toe prints in here? That would be super nasty. but by the looks of the soles, it looked like whoever owned them wore them 3 or 4 times, and that was it. So
the amazing thrift story in that regard for me, my girlfriend has a friend who is one of these people that does estate sales and thrifting, and she just enjoys it like you do. But she also turns around and sells things. But she was thrifting, and she found my favorite brand of shoe is Ecco, ECCO, and these are very nice, very expensive, rather expensive shoes. And she found a pair of perfect, almost new. I mean, they look brand new Ecco shoes in my size. It's a European size 45, and they're like my favorite shoes. I mean, she just, hey, do you wear these? I said, oh my gosh, these are perfect. I would go to a store and buy them and pay like $200. I mean,
I was going to say that's an expensive shoe.
Oh my Lord. And they were just perfect. And I really thanked her so much and repeatedly.
Yeah, that's where you can kind of make an exception, I suppose. And what I tend to do with the shirts is, I'll look for like the Ralph Lauren's or the, a higher brand. I wouldn't be buying like, you see a lot of the Costco shirts, which I mean, Costco's such a great company, but their clothing, not so much.
And used Costco shirts. Yeah.
No, I'm passing on that. But then I don't feel so bad because then I wear them. And then when they wear out, I mean, one shirt I got that I love so much, I literally wore it till the collar threaded out. And Laura was like, you might want to get rid of it. I'm like, this is like my favorite shirt. I can't. She's like, it's falling apart. And that was something I scored at a thrift store, somewhere down the line.
Well, the reason we got into this, we were looking at one of the neighbor blogs, and there are things for sale on these neighbor blogs, and we thought it was kind of strange that they were selling things like used yoga mat. Like I'm gonna go to a blog and I'm gonna look up this post about I'm gonna contact the person who's selling their used yoga mat
that seems I don't know what a yoga mat costs, but they're just little foam rolls. They can't be that
expensive, A, and B, a yoga mat's an exercise mat. So you're going to have your sweaty body getting into various shapes over the course of an hour or 45 minutes, and there's sweat, there's foam soaking up it's like a sponge, it's like a rolled up sponge.
So I'm going to find soaking up.
Yeah, and so I'm going to buy your used exercise sponge with your do you charge extra for the sweat in it?
That probably would be an item, although you're bringing up like why I can't go to a health club, because you see these people riding the stationary bikes, and I'm like, no, this is well, just getting my own bike.
You're supposed to towel it off. You're supposed to wash off, like spray some.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to. How many people do that? And times once a week or once a day times 100 bodies. That's almost as bad as an L train seat, Darren.
Indeed. And so, what are these people selling? What kind of stuff are these people selling?
We had one guy was selling running shoes, which I don't really get because don't those wear out pretty quickly? I wouldn't buy running shoes from somebody, I don't think. And
it is odd. It's odd what these people think we want from them. Why are they selling these strange used things? And we shouldn't be mean to people who are there are people that have not a lot of money, and so they need to buy things used. But I think you have to pick and choose what you're going to get used. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, the whole thrifting thing is a great way to recycle stuff. So, I mean, it's, I think that's great, but there's just certain items that, the other thing is like the pots and pans. If, for some reason they'll take any pot or pan, and you look at some of these, it looks like they've been boiling like oil, like motor oil, not like, I'm like, what? God only knows what was in this pot.
Yes, but Jeff, it's so cheap. It's like going to a terrible restaurant. Oh, the food was terrible. Yeah, in such small portions.
I love the treasure hunting aspect of it, but
this is somebody selling something a little unusual. Hey, neighbors, it says here, I have a pack of Thunder Wonders hemp seed calming chews that my dog will not eat. I only took a couple out to give her and hate to throw them away. If there's a nervous dog out there that wants hemp seed calming chews. Thunder Wonders. Have you ever heard of these? Does Fritz need some does Fritz need some calming chews?
No, luckily he's still in like toddler mode, so he sleeps 2 naps a day quite regularly and through the night now. I needed Thunder Wonders when we first brought him home because he was up 4 times a night, but that was to go to the bathroom. So
sounds like a calming chew. Maybe I want to sample one. Maybe I want to chew on one for a little bit and see how it affects my mood, Jeff. Do I need a Thunder Wonder?
I mean, who came up with that name? It either sounds like an R-rated college fart movie or a bad adult film. I don't know.
Oh man, Bart last night, he let go a couple of Thunder Wonders. Oh jeez.
I'm like, oh my. I mean, seriously, somebody needs to consult a marketing professional on that. That sounds the exact opposite of calming to me.
Oh. And so, what the things you can get on these next door neighbor websites? So maybe if any of our listeners see some stuff for sale that they think is amusing, they can let us know. Send us an email, rightnextdoorpodcast@gmail.com. By the way, we didn't say this at the top. If you like what we do here, please give us a review. We love to get those 5-star reviews to help us move up in the rankings.
Yes, we do, and we enjoy feedback as well. So we'll have the email up on the description. So if you've got a crazy thing that you've found thrifting, or the coolest thing you've ever found, or the most disgusting thing that you've found in a thrift store,
or the most annoying neighbor that's driving you crazy, and you really want to let people know about them, and maybe let the world know about them through the Right Next Door podcast.
Yep, that would be great. We welcome ideas for future shows, which would be great.
Looking for things for sale, just tread carefully, friends, and maybe just think for a little bit before you make an effort to procure the thing for sale on that neighbor blog. Where has this been? That's always a question to ask. Where has this been? With what has this been in contact?
Right. Yeah. And we've purchased glasses before, like barware, like cool, retro barware, which is cool. But there's just something about the pots and pans that I've seen where there's just, you think about what you're cooking, right? And you don't know if these people are using it to cook God only knows what. They could be cooking meth. They could be cooking, anything. I don't really want to heat something up and then digest it.
I don't want to digest a coating that's coming off of an old nonstick pan.
Yeah. Well, you see a lot of those. I'm like, who are buying these things? You're not even the minute it's got a scrape in it, you're supposed to throw it away.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I guess you're not a big thrifter, though. You're not. You don't do the treasure hunt.
After today, and after hearing your Burberry story, there, maybe I'll start looking for a couple of suit coats.
Yeah, that probably was my sweetest score of all time, and it must have been a guy who passed away or something, because there was literally 4 of them.
And so that's a question, Jeff. Do you want to wear dead people clothes?
I think the gentleman that owned them, I think would be very happy that a young lad such as myself would be.
I'm not superstitious in the least. I'm the least superstitious person there is. But you kind of wonder, again, where has this been? What happened? I think if you get a suit and there are blood stains on the collar, like maybe his head was cut off while wearing that suit.
If there are bullet holes in it, if there are bullet holes. You know what? But you bring up a good point, because I listen to a lot of the paranormal podcasts.
Yeah.
And there is a thing where apparently spirits can attach to items, and you've seen my lower level lounge.
I have.
There's a lot of stuff that's come out of different estate sales and stuff. So I've heard a couple of apparently real life horror stories of people that aren't happy that you're wearing their clothes or
We've
using
already
their
talked
stuff.
about your vintage pool table downstairs, and there is one haunted corner of the pool table.
Pee-pee kitty.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
it's haunted by the smell of cat urine from 40 years ago.
Haunted to this day. That cat probably died. And then it's like, how dare you remove the felt and put on new felt? I will haunt you forever.
And that cat is saying, it's holding its little cat paw and doing that little yes motion. Yes, right. I will live forever. My urine smell will live forever in the pool table.
Yeah, and balls never sink in that pocket. You could have an easy shot. They just like ricochet out of that corner
Pee-pee
pocket.
Kitty rejects the ball. Okay.
Right. How dare you try to use Pee-pee Kitty's corner? You're out. So, but that's well, that would be a topic. Maybe we could do that as we get closer to Halloween. We could do some paranormal.
Haunted neighborhoods, items.
Haunted neighborhood houses.
Yes. That'd be a very good Halloween show.
Actually, don't let me forget about that, because allegedly there's one about a block away from my house.
Yeah.
That I have heard from more than one person is haunted.
Oh.
So I better write that down, because
I'm writing it down.
Halloween's a ways away.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're just in the industry. This is called a deep tease. So this is several weeks out. So we're doing a deep tease for our haunted neighbor house show, which will be coming up 6 weeks from now or something.
But in the meantime, safe thrifting to any and all. Remember that important phrase.
Where has it been?
Where has it been?
And should I digest anything that comes out of this item?
This item, this pan, this.
That's right.
Yeah. And should I put my foot in this shoe? Where has it been?
Where has it been? Happy hunting, everyone, and use caution.
You have a neighbor who's driving you crazy. Tell us about it. rightnextdoorpodcast@gmail.com. The Right Next Door Podcast is an unscripted production of Eversharp Media, which takes a satirical look at local news coverage and social media. The material, views, and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the talent, guests, or the production company. Celebrity voices impersonated, including this one.